Welcome to a dad and his daughters. I'm the dad. I'm Eric. These are my daughters, Taylor and Lauren.
I'm scared.
That was interesting.
that was scary. Why do you say the dad? Like, why do you have to make a name
I'm
for the dad?
the dad.
I'm not a dad.
But you are a dad and his daughters.
In this house, I'm the dad.
But then why did you name it a dad?
Because that goes in other houses.
Huh?
So I don't want to impose my dadhood on other dads. But in this house, I'm the dad.
We should rename this.
Thank you.
It's time for a rebrand. Don't be upset. We let you have your
Okay,
trial
look.
period. No, I'm still speaking.
If you guys...
I'm speaking.
Excuse me. If you guys have an idea for a name,
Women, right?
put it in the chat. I mean, this is typically a dad having a conversation with his daughter.
Maybe
so.
it's the daughters having a conversation with their dad.
Okay, a daughter, two daughters, and a dad.
But it's not gonna be two, because you know the little heifers are gonna want to hop
The
on.
little
The little
heifers. That's what it should be called, actually.
Let's do it. The little heifers. Hey y'all. Today someone asked me what I was at work. He started the conversation saying, "Is that your real hair?"
Oh.
And I was like,
I don't like people.
and I was
Is that your real hair?
And then
it a
I
white
was
person?
like, no, he's
no, it's
not
not
white.
white. White people don't
He's
ask.
brown.
No, he's brown.
Hispanic.
He's brown. Why do we do that? Like,
He's like, no, because I'm like,
no, but I'm saying, why do we do brown and
okay.
yellow and
But
white? And
he started the conversation saying, "Is that your real hair?" And I was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Does it not look like it's my real hair?" He was like, and I kid you not, he was like, "No, I mean, like, yeah, it looks realistic, but you know, a lot of black people wear wigs." And he literally, when he said black people, he said black people and emphasized the black. And I was like,
Sound like you spit.
no, I'm pretty sure he did.
no, it's giving my teacher the blacks.
The blacks, yeah, I had
The
him
blacks.
too. It's seventh
My
grade.
history teacher.
But he was like, you know, a lot of black people, and he threw his hands up like this, and I was like, what's wrong with you? And then he's like,
You know
what?
this
And I was
man?
like, yes, he's my coworker. I said, why?
So you've
I was
talked
like,
to him before.
yes. I was like, why are you saying, first of all, why are you saying black people like that? You don't need to do all the emphasis. Just say black people. And he's like,
Well,
yeah,
don't
but
say
it
anything.
sounds weird without the emphasis. I was like, no. I was like, what are you?
It sounds
I was
weird
like, huh?
without the
He's like, I mean, I know
emphasis.
that's like, he's like, no, like, I'm not like in a group, I don't know. And I was like, no, yeah, you don't know. Just stop talking to me. But it was just interesting. Which is funny though, because before that happened, I got asked if this was my real hair again. Like, this is the second time I got asked that. The first time I was asked, it was by this Asian lady who I was helping in self-checkout. And she was very sweet and very kind. You could tell like her intentions are very genuine. She was like, "Is that your real?" She's like, "I don't mean to offend you in any way," but she was like in awe or like in amazement of my hair. And she's like, "Your hair is so beautiful. I've seen it on TV before, but I've never seen it in person."
So like the
And it's-
afroness.
I guess. She's like, "It's just so pretty. I've never seen it in person." And she's like, "My hair is so boring. I wish." She's like, "A lot of people with your hair, we wish we had hair like yours. It's so beautiful." She told me my hair is beautiful like 5 times within the conversation.
My
She was
friend
very
had the
nice.
same experience.
She was very nice,
working.
but it's like she just kept saying it was beautiful on repeat. And so then I was like, I had that experience earlier in my shift, and then later in my shift where it's like, you know, black people. And I'm like, okay. Interesting.
How do you think Lauryn should have responded to that?
I think she probably responded the right way.
What would you have done? Do I know black people?
You know,
I would like-
black people.
Do I know?
I mean, I say that as a joke, but that's a black person who says that.
Exactly.
But it's not.
And even then he doesn't go black people.
I know. And he was saying it as a joke versus this guy who was actually saying like, you know, a lot of black people.
But that's
wear
why
wigs.
but that's why they say black with like a tone almost, and that's why like if somebody asks me, I just say I'm black, and then they're like, oh, but what else? No, I'm black.
He
Like
did
I don't
ask
say
me after
African
that, 'cause
American.
he was like,
I don't say.
he was like-
Why are you laughing?
he was like, well, he's like, well,
I'm not African American.
After he said he's black, he's like, well,
'Cause
like,
that's-
what else? He's like, but what are you? And I'm like, I'm
'Cause I
black. And he's
remember-
like, what else though? Like, where do you come from? And I'm like,
I'm American, and I'm
I said
black.
I'm
Wait,
American.
I'm American.
And
and
I
I'm
was
black.
like,
I'm not Polish American. I'm not Italian American. Like we don't say
No.
that for any other race.
No,
I'm
wait.
black and I'm American.
Two thoughts. First of all,
Not proud of
I was
American all the
thinking,
time, but-
and I don't know if you have a comment for this, but I remember we had to get something from the DMV, and you went in with your mom.
Oh yes, and the man.
And then I came in, and
he
then
was
you
sassy.
said he wasn't expecting.
No, he
me
was
to be
so
your dad.
sassy. He didn't know, but he didn't say that to us. You realize he was saying that to himself. Like he's sitting here processing so I can get my learner's permit, and I'm standing there next to mom. And back then, I feel like I got a lot more questions about race because we were still. Now that I'm in DC and I'm around black all the time, no one asked me. No one's like, "What are you?" Mm-hmm. But dad comes in. He hasn't said anything to us. He goes, "That's not what I was expecting." Like still typing on the computer, like not like talking about us in front of us, but not to us. And I'm like, "That's not what you're expecting," because dad.
Was it when he had like his hair growing out a little bit?
No, I think he was just expecting a white man.
Because your mom was brown complexion, so I
You're
guess he
expecting a
thought
white
that
man?
was good. I was supposed to be much lighter to give the medium. You were in the middle, as opposed to us being a similar complexion. There's this dude when we was in France. We was at the comedy show, and he would ask people. He said, "Where you from?" And they would give a country, which the country. There, it's so diverse that the country doesn't necessarily represent. So you say, "Where's your face from?" Because like there might be an Asian lady, and she might say, "I'm from France," and he's like, "Okay, where's your face from?" It was like ghetto because it would be probably
Like
ignorant
ethnicity?
and discriminatory if you would say, "Okay, I know you're from America, but where's your origin?" You know what I'm saying?
Or ethnic, but there's a
Your
difference between ethnicity and race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
It's just the social
so he would just say,
construct,
"Where's
and
your
then ethnicity's
where's
like
your face
that.
from?"
Ethnically speaking,
Yeah, he was like, well, that's what he asked me. He's like, well, like, what are you? And I'm like,
I'm a human.
I'm black.
Like let's just stick, leave it at human. Like why does it matter?
Well, I think
I think it's cool if you have an ethnicity to be proud of it, but
He's
I'm
like,
saying in
no,
terms, if you already asked me, are you black
but then
like that?
But then he
I'm
brought up
tired.
another coworker that we had who was like, I don't know what country he's from in Africa, but he's like, but he's from like here, like where are you from? And I was like,
I don't like
I
his
can't.
tone.
I said I can't really trace that because of slavery. And he was like, oh, he's like, wait, so like your parents had to deal with that? I was like, okay.
He said your parents had to be in slavery.
He's like, so your parents had to like. I'm like, my parents didn't deal with that, but their great grandparents were.
Your parents.
Yes,
Your
she
parents.
legit said your parents. I was like,
this is a special hire.
I was like, he was like, but
manager.
But he was like, no, he's not a manager. But he was like, wait, so like your family, like you're like relatives, and I'm like, okay.
But listen,
Yeah.
okay.
If somebody asks what I am ethnically, and I can tell they're not being like weird about it, fine. I'll sit here and be like, there's probably somewhere in Africa that somebody in my line was related to.
But I don't think even this dude. I don't think he's being weird. He's just asking in a weird, awkward way.
If you're asking in a weird, awkward way,
no. People are genuinely curious because think about it. The history books never went into this level of detail. A white woman seeing her hair for a long time.
Asian.
Okay, an Asian one. Someone is not black. Seeing hair, they think you wake up in the morning and your hair just looks just like that, and then you just go and do your day because they wake up and their hair looks just like that, and you would think, how could you think that? But if they've never been in the house of a black person, they don't understand the process it takes to transform hair like that. So they'll ask a question, but they'll ask it awkwardly because they probably feel awkward even asking in the first place, but they're really curious. And the same with ethnicity. Most people don't understand that we can't point to a place on the continent of Africa and say, that's where I'm from, because it's so easy for them to point to a place in Europe or in Asia or in South America and say that's where they're from. And they just think everybody knows where they're from. So, I mean, the black experience has become so touch and pick as far as the history in this country that people really have no idea about what we've dealt with.
But I'm saying there's a way to ask questions,
but if it's awkward, if you're a socially awkward person, it may not be race. It may be like your skincare treatment. It may be like your preference, and they just don't know how to ask it the right way. And in 2026, most people communicate on social media anyway, so when you're trying to talk to somebody in person, you might say it in a way that could be...
The thing is, I'm a black woman, so I hear everything you're saying, but I think that black women get hit with a lot of sideways energy very often, and like there's no excuses. It's like you wouldn't talk to anybody else this way.
No, I agree. I do agree that the black
And I
woman
don't
is the most
want to be
disrespected.
negative and like walk around
person.
thinking people are like always having bad intentions, but like there is a different way you could have asked that question. I just feel like there's like a
Based on what I know, I
I'm
feel
talking about an
like
insensitive male.
based on what she knows.
I think honestly, it's like I think it's honestly has to do with how you're raised. Like I don't fault you because like I don't think he's racist, but I think that he's probably raised in a
he's racist.
Probably bought into stereotypes.
I don't think he's racist because if he was racist, he probably
think-
wouldn't have asked
Well,
anything.
yes, I think he bought into
But
the
he has-
stereotypes. I think he's been raised in a household where they're like, this is how black people are. Because a lot of, like, if non-black people or other groups will be, like, specifically, I guess in America, portrayed black people as race, or not racist, but ghetto and, like, poor, just, like... And I had a conversation with another coworker a while back.
Oh my god, I'm
and
so
he had
excited.
a friend, and he was like, and this was another thing, they always ask me like what else or I am or something like that. I'm like, no, I'm just black. And he was like a light skin, and he was like, yeah, I have a friend who's light skinned, he's from Ghana, but he doesn't like black people because like he's like black people are ghetto.
I had this conversation
just
with
like-
Sean's girlfriend a few weeks ago about immigrants' perceptions on black people.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't finish her thought.
No, that was about it. And he was like, he's light skinned, but he won't claim black. Like if you call, he was like his friends like he gets offended when you call him black.
He's light skinned, but he won't claim black.
No.
But that's exactly why I do claim black. Because I'd rather be called black than African American.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't really care, but I'm
he
saying
may
I
not-
want to put a positive.
but I'm
But
saying like
he
a
may
lot
not
of
claim-
people are like I guess.
And that's why I wrote that piece called "The Right Skin," because there's a lot of light skinned people that's been ostracized even within the black community that they don't consider themselves to be legitimate black, or people have made them feel like they're
I
not
don't think
legitimate.
that's
But
what's
it's
happening. I think
still
it's raising
because
just because they want to be associated
race
with black
is a
people.
social construct.
No, you'd be
so
surprised.
it's like it's not your like either.
But you're saying that a lot of people don't even know what that means. Like if you were to ask someone said to you, explain what you mean when you say race is social construct.
Yeah, I would say break
People
that down.
are not even gonna know what that means.
You're saying society constructed it.
Yeah, I mean like as far as like where we like I guess our culture that's like all that goes into like ethnicity and nationality and all of that.
But even
And even
then-
though those two are different too. Because nationality, I believe, is technically where you're born.
But
like,
you know
what
what?
country you're born in. your
I get
nationality
race.
versus
Race
ethnicity
is
where
a man-made
you're-
construct, but
Yeah.
for Black Americans,
It's our
it
identity.
is a culture because
We don't have anything.
I'm not raised in African culture.
I know,
Mom and
so
dad
that-
don't have us running around
Our
here
nationality
in,
would be
like,
African
garments
American,
or
and then our race
with-
is black.
We'd have to claim a whole
African American.
continent.
Our ethnicity is African American.
No,
No?
Yes.
it's not. No, it's not.
Because what is your ethnicity?
Okay,
then?
so, well, first of all,
Our-
I'm black. I can't
yes,
say that
you're
I'm
black. That's your race.
I'm of African descent, but I don't know exactly what country in Africa that I can identify with. I don't say African American because I got some disconnects with the way that I'm treated here in America. I'm a citizen of this country, but it's just like you want to say that when people talk about their ethnicity, there's a sense of pride when you come from that ethnicity. It's hard for black people that live in America to have that sense of pride because they don't feel, one, from the African standpoint, they don't know where that to
Exactly.
put that, but from the American standpoint, they don't even feel like they've been treated as full-fledged citizens all the way to 2026 just because of the way that the color of their skin.
I'm saying blackness is the one, like, it's a social construct, but it kind of like
okay, yes, I
it's
get
not
for, like,
just
It's
a
become
race.
something we've
It is-
accepted.
I know, for us it's not just
why
a
they
race,
make
but I'm saying
the black
in
culture
general.
cards, or you've lost your black card, or you lost. That's become.
I know. I'm not saying that for black people it's just a race. I'm saying like overall the idea.
Yeah,
of
I know race in itself. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. But I'm saying one thing that is resilient about our people, if we've taken the scraps or the leftovers or the hand-me-downs or the rejected stuff that they gave us, and we made something out of nothing. So
exactly.
so
we created a culture,
we took the
so that's
food
what I'm saying, that's our ethnic
that was like
background.
scrappy food, and we made
We don't
soul
have
food,
anything else that
right?
go
We
back to.
we
Are y'all
took
both saying things at the same time?
we took our emotion and our
Yes.
soul, and we created blues, and we created jazz, we created hip hop, and now everyone else in the country and in the world wants to emulate our flavor, our style, our passion, our soul, because we've created stuff out of nothing. But that's it. The whole thing with just being black. I resonate with the saying I'm black more than I do saying I'm African American.
And that's where I am. But also, I take that both ways, because when I don't say African American because, like I said earlier, you don't ask white people where are you from, because they're not American. Nobody here is a native indigenous person.
Except for the native.
But I'm saying they're not here. They were removed and pushed.
Well,
So
they're in some.
They're in
if y'all go to reservation
Reservations,
camps, but
yeah.
even then you don't see them anywhere. You don't see them in media. You don't see their culture represented anywhere.
Yeah, they're
But I'm
gone.
saying the dominant group. Well, they're not even
They're dominant.
the majority that's becoming the minority. No one says to them, "You're Italian American,"
Yeah,
and actually Italians weren't even originally considered
I know,
Aryan
they were-
European. So nobody, or the Aryans,
They
of the
looked down
Aryans.
on them,
So that's what I'm
didn't they?
saying.
Yeah.
So, but nobody says to anyone that is not black, "What type of American are you?" That's why I don't classify myself, because they don't have to. Secondly, goes back to what you said before. The people that are from Africa or other immigrants that look down on black people when they get here, why would I want to associate myself with people that don't want to associate with me? I'm not going to call myself African American when I have no connections to Africa that I can see or that I was raised in, and that I can't tell you which country I'm from. Not that I wouldn't be interested in finding out, but I'm not raised in that culture. And then also, you look down on black people, so why would I want to be with you?
The way I
Now,
see it,
I slightly disagree with that, but I want you to go first.
the way I see it is that, like, I'm not thinking about the people who look down on us that are from Africa. I'm saying more so is where we come from as a people. Our ancestors, the people that they did bring over the boats, were African, and then were forced to be here and make lives here. So that's where it gets African American from. I'm not saying that I'm claiming that, or trying to cling on to the African part, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to cling on to the African part so much so, but I'm African American. Like, that's how you get African American.
Yeah, and I guess I'd probably be in the
I mean,
middle.
I would be interested in knowing what parts, but I feel
Yeah.
like you can't even really trace.
I'm not bothered with
now.
being called African American. I just make it a practice to just say black, because I feel like the people that walk around and just say black in a negative way, or when a crime is being reported, it bothers me. I've had this conversation with my friends who are African. They're like, I understand what you're saying. I don't have a problem with African people. I do have a problem with people who are like, where are you from? Like, oh, black culture doesn't exist. What is black? What is blackness? Because I'm like, I agree. We all
say
came.
black
I will
culture doesn't
acknowledge the
exist.
people that the people that are in the Pan-African diaspora who can point to where they are from.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, like, if us not being able to point to our from, they're like, what is wrong with you? Why can't you point to where you're from? And I'm like, you have to factor that we don't have control over that. But two, it just gets to a point where it's like kind of, I don't. Why would you put somebody down because they can't identify where they're from? And that part bothers me, because I'm just there. What can we? This is not. What can we do? Like, you know, the people that are like, I'm Jamaican. I'm and I'm happy for you.
But even with Jamaican, I mean, they've created
But
a
you're
culture
also
amongst
from
Jamaica,
Africa.
but they're also from Africa.
That's what I'm saying. I acknowledge
They
that
can't
everybody
point
came from
exactly
Africa.
Right.
I do acknowledge that.
I do have this vision or this desire after spending some time in Europe. I realized I want to go to at least all 6 out of 7 continents before I die. I don't really have a passion to be in Antarctica, but I
I think you
wouldn't.
should do it.
I want to go to Antarctica.
I
Okay,
do not
well,
wanna go
you
to
tell me about it. But I have this vision of being somewhere in West Africa, because the ships have to sail out of West Africa, and being on the shores of where they were deporting them out, and just paying homage or respect, because to your point, that's where we originated. That's where the nightmare started, but that's where the middle passage and our survivors were clearly on the middle passage to get here. Like, that is a deep part of our history, even though we will never, more likely, because these DNA tests, I think, are big scams. So more than likely, we'll never know our actual descent as far as what country. Although I do kind of trust, like, people from Africa, like the people down in Texas.
No.
I showed
I
them
feel
a
like that
picture.
is
I
scam
showed them
too.
a picture of my grandfather, and both of them, without talking to each other, said, "You're definitely from Nigeria." Now, I I mean, again, I don't know.
I will say that people from Nigeria have very distinct features. Like I've gone to a point because of who my friends are. I'm like, well, I can kind of tell, I can see it.
But having that sense, like I don't dismiss that. But again, the phrase, I've never liked the phrase African American because.
So do you actually think your people came from Nigeria?
African American is like saying second class citizen or so.
I don't know. I kind of resonate with it because I've heard it multiple times. But
Well, no, because that's also the problem, though. If we really want to be technical, the countries in Africa are from colonizers. Like, that's not what they originally were. The people were literally pulled and scattered during the, what is it called? The meeting.
Trade?
No, not before this, actually during the slave trade, when the colonizers deciding who gets what territory, because even after slavery occurred, they still had colonization.
Oh, I know what
in their
meeting you're
countries.
talking
Yes,
about.
I'm saying,
Yes.
because your DNA test, the ones you took to take the scam, is Cameroon. Where's Cameroon right next to?
Well, it started-
Nigeria.
No,
So
here's the
I'm
crazy
saying
part.
it keeps
started
bouncing.
with Nigeria and then it went to Cameroon.
So I'm saying there's
Exactly.
no
It shouldn't be
there
that.
even the people that can connect to where they're from on the continent, even your people were still moved around places that you don't even know. Like the countries that we're seeing today, the names of them are names by what colonizers put in the map. And I'm sure because you're on the continent, you might know the original history. But it's like he's what, you're Cameroonian today, Nigerian tomorrow. What's the other one you've probably gotten?
Oh, the other one was like German or something.
Well, no,
No,
that's
he is Sierra.
No, he's not. Sierra Leone's higher.
Okay, never mind.
Cameroon and Nigeria are right next to each other.
I thought that was somewhere on the what you call it, his little
Berlin Conference. Oh my gosh. Wait, no, not Berlin Conference.
It was something conference.
Not Berlin.
Yeah, colonizers jacked up a whole bunch of people.
I know in my brain it's making me mad because I
For
can't
some reason,
think
I
out
feel like it
loud.
starts with a C. Maybe not.
I really need to get this conference dated or I'm gonna lose my mind. You have your phone? Oh no, you don't have your phone. I don't have my phone.
Where do you want me to Google?
Just search the conference that European countries broke up Africa with.
So frustrating. We see the residue of that mess all the way till today. And no atonement for it. No apologies for it. No ways to fix it.
I don't think they would do anything.
They just move on.
What was the Berlin conference?
It was.
Mhm.
Guys. Oh. At first I was going to sound like an idiot if I said it wrong, and then you have to go back and find the Thank you. Yes. Okay, anyways.
But I think it's good perspectives. I don't think anybody's wrong. I think whatever see, here's the thing, whatever you identify with, we are constantly looking for some sense of identity or something to identify. We're supposed to identify with something that's a part of your human existence to feel like you can identify. You identify with the family. You want to identify with the community. You want to identify. It was really interesting, like, there's something that we do just amongst black men. If we see another brother, not to say anything, you just,
Did you see his little nod?
On my peripheral. I saw it on my peripheral.
No, he said.
I saw it on my peripheral.
But like, I was trying to do that in France.
Why?
Because it was brothers, I thought.
Bon bisdou.
And I just went like that, and they just must have thought I had a cricket one day. But I'm realizing they might have been African, or they might have been, you know what I'm saying? Even though some were dressed really hip hopish, so I'm thinking.
Well, street styles everywhere.
But they were just the head nod wasn't a head nod in another.
No, you're
country,
right
in
about
another
it.
continent.
Identity, and we live in a world where people can identify as a crayon, or they can identify as a shoe if they want to. And I do think that is a personal choice. I wouldn't be offended if anybody called me anything, really. I don't really care. As I've gotten older, my thing has been citizen of heaven, as you like to say. But
people will more than likely call you African American because they feel like that's the formal,
it's politically correct.
Yes, the most appropriate thing to say without sounding insulting. Some people think if they call you black that it's insulting.
I get it.
I welcome black.
But then my thing is kind of goes back to what you said
you're black.
earlier about the colorism within black race, where it's like there are black people that would see me and be like, "Oh, you're not black." So I'm like, I don't.
I've been
That's why I
told
don't
that,
care.
yeah.
Like I don't care.
I'm personally not going to argue with
I'm saying
you
I'm not, but that's my
race.
point. I'm not arguing with anybody. Call me African American, call me black. I don't really care.
The term black has been used for so long that people understand that it is a spectrum of light all the way to very dark, and the beauty of it enhancing so many shades that encompass
They
that.
don't understand that.
Who?
Some people
People
don't.
don't
Because
understand
I've been told on multiple occasions that I'm not black.
Are black people?
Yes.
Yeah, those are
Hurt.
insecure folks.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you over it and be like, yes, I am. I'm like, okay, well, I know what I am.
That's the thing. I don't really care.
Like, I don't.
My name is Taylor. If you can't, that's why I said human. Let's just go back to human decency.
Yeah, nobody's going to tell me I'm not black.
Oh, you're gonna argue?
I had to argue. I'm just saying you're not going to convince me
And
otherwise.
it's crazy because then it's like, especially it's so annoying on social media, like the people who are the same people that are like, you can't be mixed and be light skinned. Those are two different things. Light skin only refers to fully black people who had 2 black parents. And it's like,
But if
that's
we're visually
annoying, so-
speaking, I mean, they're being literal and petty a little bit.
Yeah, it
But
is though.
from a visual, if you put a light skinned person and a mixed
Next
person
to-
right next to each other and they have the same complexion,
Okay,
Are you
like
gonna-
I get that, like if you could see that like black person, but you just say like, oh, okay, this they would say dad's not light skinned.
I would say
He's not
dad-
allowed. You wouldn't be allowed to consider yourself light skinned. You would just be mixed. That's their logic. Like you can't be mixed because light skin would be a term for a fully black person who just is light. So because you have one of your parents isn't black, you wouldn't be considered light skinned.
So, I mean, I guess it all depends on your definition of culture. I appreciate the black culture because black culture, if you all go all the way back to slavery, it was the black culture. It was slave mothers that were nursing little white babies because the culture of black, I mean, they had to, but even when they didn't have to, there was this nurturing capacity. It's the whole idea that if you have just a small percentage of black blood, then white America wasn't going to claim you as being white, you know?
I was also going to say, though, to Dad's defense, it was your ethnicity or your race is whatever the mother is.
Oh.
So,
yeah,
because that's what allowed the slaveholders to get away with raping black women. I don't know if we can say that in here. So, Dad does have a black mother.
I
And
know.
I'm saying, if nothing else, the beautiful thing that has been used against us for so long, and this is where we started the conversation, is our hair. Like, even though there are certain levels of
I'm gonna say
kinks
black women.
and there's a certain levels of curls, there's the beautiful gift that we've been told is a curse that our hair, it doesn't lay down. It doesn't look like puppy dog hair when you wash it. I mean, it'll shrink and it'll sponge and then it'll come out when it's dry and everything. But it's going to stay in place because it's like the thing that makes us different. You can say that's a mixed person, that's a black person, like whatever. Like there's no other ethnicity that has that component with their hair. And I think it's a gift from God, honestly, as opposed to people who have been trying to make it a curse. And I also wonder, and people are looking at it like, oh my gosh, that's so incredible, because it's a gift. I don't care what the orange man in the office says.
The orange man, the noisemaker in chief. I really love
Oh,
my
I saw
professors
those videos. Those are
I feel like
hilarious.
sometimes the things my professors say, like
I
they're gonna storm the
care
campus and arrest
what
us.
this dude says. When they take away your history, that means they're likely to try to do the same things that they did before in history. So you have to make sure they don't take away your history.
But that's what should encourage you. With everything that they're doing, black people already survived it. Everything they're trying to, like, we already survived it. We were the blueprint for the Holocaust, and for Jim Crow was the blueprint for the Nazis. Like, we've already survived this before. They can't do anything to us. It never works.
Yep. All right. Make sure you continue to have conversations with your family members about identity and ethnicity, race, and all that good stuff in between. It's very important.
Is it very important?
It's very important
Why?
because you want to have a sense of. We just talked about this.
We didn't talk about why it's very
Identify.
important. I'm just confused.
It's important to identify with where you're from and who you are as a family and who you are as a people.
But I don't think it should be important in how you treat people. I think that's, like, I wish we would, like, when Lauryn said social construct 30 times, I do agree. Like, it is, at the end of the day, it shouldn't impact the way that you treat other people outside of your home. So if you want to have a deep discussion,
What? You mean outside of your own?
like, people should walk out their house and see humans and be kind.
Comment, like, subscribe, share.
I'm actually afraid. Don't comment.
We want your comments.
We don't want your comments. I never want your comments.
If you're not black, we want to hear from you.
Oh, if you're not
What
black,
if
what do you
black?
want to hear from black?
Oh, we expect the black people to talk.
Do we?
Yeah.
Why does the race matter whether they talk or not?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
With just humans. Just humans.
Hey, there's a beauty.
We're all humans.
There's a beauty in
I
ethnicity.
think. Except for
And
Elon
when
Musk.
you can't trace your ethnicity,
Donald Trump.
you create it. You black. Let's go.
I didn't understand what you just said.
There's a beauty in ethnicity, and when you can't trace your ethnicity, you create
We
it.
really can't trace our ethnicity.
We're black. Let's go.
Oh, that's what he said.
Like, I don't believe the DNA test either, and they give your information to other people.
Yeah,
Like, it notifies you
switched up
relatives you might
twice.
have, and then they're selling the data to, like, no.
When it switched up twice, it said you were this, and then they were like, actually, never mind, you're that. It's like, huh?
Because I used to want to take them for myself, but now I'm like, I don't really care. I would have a forensic, well, not a forensic, but I would have an anthropologist, like kind of on Bones, the show they used to like look at the features and like this comes from this region and that region. I would do that, but I don't want anybody taking my,
DNA.
yeah, my materials.
Deuces.
And then he's gonna put the